I stood there in the pouring rain, watching my world dissolve like ink on wet paper. My wife, Elena, the woman I'd built my life around, was locked in a passionate embrace with a stranger under the flickering neon lights of a downtown bar. Her laughter, that same melodic sound that used to light up our mornings, now echoed like a betrayal straight to my soul. I gripped the edge of the brick wall, my knuckles white, as thunder cracked overhead. How had it come to this? Me, Alex Thompson, 34-year-old graphic designer from Seattle, reduced to a shadow spying on his own marriage. It started innocently enough, or so I thought. Elena and I met 5 years ago at a coffee shop art exhibit. She was 32, a talented photographer with eyes that sparkled like the Pacific Ocean at dawn. "Life's too short for bad coffee and boring art," she'd said, sliding into the seat next to me. We clicked instantly, shared dreams, late-night talks, the kind of connection that feels predestined. 2 years later, we married in a small ceremony on the coast, promising forever amid crashing waves. After the wedding, Elena decided to pause her career to focus on us. "I want to create a home that's our sanctuary," she told me, her voice soft and sincere. And she did. Our apartment was a masterpiece: cozy throw pillows, fresh-baked scones waiting when I got home from long days at the studio, handwritten notes tucked into my lunch bag. "You're my everything, Alex," she'd whisper, pulling me close. We were trying for a baby too, but after months of negative tests, she stayed optimistic. "It'll happen when it's right," she'd say, brushing off my worries. But cracks appeared, subtle at first. Elena started locking her phone, claiming it was to prevent accidental deletions of her photos. New outfits appeared in her closet, silky dresses and heels that screamed date night, but never with me. "Just treating myself," she'd explain with a wink. Then came the spa products, the gourmet cooking classes she suddenly needed to attend alone. I chalked it up to self-care because why question perfection? That rainy night, everything shattered. I was supposed to be at a client meeting that ran late, but it wrapped early. On a whim, I decided to surprise Elena with her favorite takeout from that Thai place downtown. As I approached our usual spot, I saw her through the window, laughing, touching his arm, leaning in for a kiss that lasted too long. The man was polished, mid-40s with a confident smirk. My stomach twisted into knots. I didn't confront them. Instead, I slunk away, rain mixing with the tears I refused to acknowledge. Driving home, my mind raced. Was this real? Had I been blind? Elena arrived later, slipping into bed like nothing happened. "How was your meeting, love?" she murmured, nuzzling my neck. I mumbled something noncommittal, feigning sleep while rage simmered inside. That night I vowed to uncover the truth. No more playing the fool. The next morning I acted normal, kissed her goodbye, headed to work. But internally I was plotting. I installed a tracking app on our shared iPad, something she'd never notice. By afternoon it pinged. She was at a hotel across town. My heart pounded as I drove there, parking discreetly. Sure enough, she emerged arm in arm with him, heading to a nearby cafe. I snapped photos from afar, my hands trembling. Digging deeper, I accessed our joint bank statements online. Thousands drained on hotel stays, lingerie, weekend getaways disguised as photography retreats. Elena had been meticulous, forging receipts and emails to cover her tracks. One entry hit hard: a romantic cabin rental for their anniversary. 2 years. That meant it started right after our honeymoon. Confrontation brewed, but I held back. I needed more. Hiring a private investigator felt extreme, but desperation won. His name was Derek, a grizzled ex-detective with a no-nonsense vibe. "I've seen this movie before," he said, reviewing my evidence. "Give me a week." While waiting, I endured the charade at home, dinners where her smiles felt like knives, nights where her touch burned with deceit. Derek's report was a gut punch: texts, photos, plans for a future without me. The man's name was Marcus Reynolds, a marketing exec with a wife and 2 kids. Elena's messages to him were poetry of betrayal. "I can't wait to leave this cage and be free with you." Cage? Our life was the cage. Fury mixed with heartbreak, but a cold resolve settled in. This wasn't ending with tears. It was ending with justice. As the days blurred into a haze of suspicion, I dove deeper into Elena's double life, each discovery peeling back layers of the woman I thought I knew. It was like unraveling a tapestry I'd woven myself, beautiful on the surface, rotten underneath. I sat in our dimly lit living room, scrolling through cloned messages on a burner phone, my coffee growing cold. "Miss you already, my love," she'd texted Marcus that morning, while I'd been making her breakfast in bed. I remembered our early days vividly. Elena's photography passion had drawn me in. She'd capture sunsets with such intensity, as if freezing moments could make them eternal. But now, those same skills masked her lies, edited photos of solo trips that were anything but. One evening, she claimed a girls' night with her friend Sophia. I nodded but tailed her discreetly. She met Marcus at a jazz club, their bodies swaying in rhythm, lost in each other. I watched from the shadows, a stranger in my own story. To cope, I confided in my best friend Jake over beers at a quiet pub. "She's cheating, man," I whispered, showing him a photo. His face hardened. "That's brutal, Alex." "What are you gonna do?" Revenge simmered, but I needed a plan. Derek's updates poured in. Marcus was no saint, multiple affairs, a gambling habit funded by embezzling from his firm. Elena knew, yet stayed hooked. "They're planning a trip to Hawaii," Derek reported. "She's using your card." That stung. Our joint finances, built on trust, now fueled her escape. I audited everything. $12,000 vanished over 20 months on gifts, flights, secrets. Elena had even opened a hidden savings account, siphoning small amounts. "For our future baby," she'd once said about extra cash. Lies upon lies. Emotionally, I was a wreck. Nights alone, I'd replay memories, our wedding vows, whispered promises under starry skies. How had love turned to this? Therapy crossed my mind, but pride held me back. Instead, I channeled pain into action. I documented obsessively, screenshots, timelines, even voice recordings of her late-night calls. One stormy afternoon, Elena announced a wellness retreat with Sophia. "I need this for my mental health, Alex. We've been so stressed with the baby stuff." Her eyes pleaded, but I saw the manipulation. "Go ahead," I said, forcing a smile. As she packed, I slipped a GPS tracker into her bag. She left, and I followed digitally, straight to a luxury cabin in the mountains with Marcus. Derek tailed them, sending real-time photos, candle-lit dinners, hot tub embraces. One image showed Elena wearing a necklace I'd given her on our anniversary, now around her neck as she kissed him. Betrayal burned hot. Back home, I raged silently, punching pillows until exhaustion claimed me. The turning point came when I hacked her email, risky but necessary. There, amid spam, were love letters. "Alex suspects nothing. Soon we'll be together forever." Marcus replied, "Leave him, my divorce is coming." He had a family. I researched. Sarah, his wife of 12 years, and kids aged 8 and 10. Innocence caught in the crossfire. Guilt gnawed, but so did resolve. I contacted Sarah anonymously via a throwaway email hinting at the affair. No response yet, but seeds were planted. Meanwhile, Elena returned glowing. "The retreat was amazing. I feel renewed." She hugged me and I hugged back, masking revulsion. As weeks passed, I prepared my exit. Secured a new apartment, moved valuables stealthily, my sketchbooks, family heirlooms, our wedding album for irony. I consulted a lawyer, Mia Chen, a fierce advocate. "You've got a slam-dunk case," she said. "Adultery, fraud, she'll get nothing." The emotional toll mounted. Dreams haunted me, Elena's face morphing from loving to mocking. But in waking hours, I found strength in small rebellions, joining a gym, reconnecting with old friends. One night, Jake dragged me to an art show. There I met Leela, a curator with a warm smile. We talked for hours, a spark of genuine connection amid chaos. But timing was wrong, my heart was still mending. Elena's next trip loomed, a supposed conference. This time I'd be ready. As she kissed me goodbye, I whispered internally, "Enjoy it while it lasts." Revenge isn't always loud. Sometimes it's a whisper that echoes into a roar. As Elena drove off to her latest rendezvous, I sat in our empty apartment. the weight of 2 years' deception pressing down. The air felt thick with unspoken truths, and I was done being the victim. It was time to strike. First, I called the credit card company, voice steady despite my pounding heart. "I'd like to report potential fraud," I said. "Disable all cards linked to my account immediately." They complied, no questions asked. Elena's spending spree would hit a wall mid-romance. I imagined her face at the hotel desk, card declined, Marcus fumbling for excuses. Next, I reached out to Sarah, Marcus's wife, this time in person. I found her at a local park watching her kids play. "Sarah, I'm Alex Thompson. We need to talk about our spouses." Her eyes widened, but she nodded. Over coffee, I showed her the folder, photos, texts, timelines. Tears streamed down her face. I knew he was distant, but this, how long? "Nearly 2 years," I replied softly. She clutched the evidence, resolve hardening. "Thank you. I won't let this destroy us." Back home, Elena's calls started flooding in by evening. "Alex, the card's not working. I'm stranded at this retreat." Panic laced her voice. "Where exactly are you?" I asked calmly, hesitation. Cascade Lodge. Can you wire money?" I sent just enough for gas. "We'll sort it tomorrow." She returned frazzled, but I played concerned husband. Inside, plans accelerated. With Mia's help, divorce papers were drafted, citing infidelity and financial abuse. I also tipped off Marcus's employer anonymously about his embezzlement, attaching proof from Derek's dig. The emotional immersion hit peak when I confronted Elena indirectly. One night, as she cooked dinner, I accidentally left photos on the table. She froze, face paling. "Alex, what is this?" "The truth," I said, voice breaking despite my resolve, tears welled in her eyes. "It was a mistake. I love you." But her words rang hollow, echoes of scripted apologies from her texts to Marcus. We argued into the night, her denials crumbling under evidence. "You used me," I shouted, pain raw. "Our home, our dreams, all props for your affair." She sobbed, admitting partial truths, but blamed stress, our failed attempts at parenthood. "You were always working." Excuses, not remorse. I slept on the couch, dreams vivid with alternate lives. One where we succeeded as parents, another where I walked away sooner. Morning brought clarity. Sarah called. She'd filed for divorce, going public on social media. Her post exploded, tagged with Elena and Marcus's names, detailing the betrayal. Friends, family, colleagues saw it all. Elena's phone buzzed incessantly. Her perfect facade shattered. Marcus lost his job within days, the embezzlement tip sealed it. Elena faced backlash. Her photography network blacklisted her, old clients canceling shoots. Her parents called, disappointed. "How could you?" Her mother wept over speakerphone. In mediation, Mia dismantled Elena's defenses. "Systematic deception," she argued, presenting bank records showing $15,000 funneled to the affair. Elena's lawyer faltered. She got minimal assets, no alimony. The judge's words stung her. "Actions have consequences." Post-divorce, I moved to a new place overlooking the Sound, starting fresh. Therapy helped unpack the trauma, sessions filled with tears, anger, eventual acceptance. I dove into work, landing a big project designing murals for a tech firm. And Leela, we reconnected at another event. Coffee turned to dates, her honesty a balm to my wounds. But closure came unexpectedly, an email from Elena months later. "I'm sorry for the pain. I'm leaving Seattle, starting over." I deleted it, focusing on the horizon. Healing isn't linear. It's a storm that ebbs and flows, leaving you drenched in memories. Months after the divorce, I wandered Seattle's misty streets, Elena's ghost lingering in every corner cafe we once loved. The emotional weight was immersive, waves of grief crashing against newfound freedom. I'd wake from nightmares of her laughter with Marcus, only to find solace in the quiet of my new life. One added event twisted the knife. I discovered Elena had faked a pregnancy scare early in our marriage to keep me invested. Texts to Marcus revealed it, told him I might be pregnant to buy time. Rage reignited. I confronted her via email, but she blocked me. It fueled my resolve to rebuild stronger. Sarah and I formed an unlikely bond, meeting for support. The kids are adjusting, she shared over lunch. Therapy helps. Her strength inspired me. We even collaborated on a charity event for betrayed spouses, turning pain into purpose. Work became my anchor. A promotion came, leading a team on eco-friendly designs. Colleagues noticed my edge sharper, more driven. "You've changed, Alex," one said. "For the better." Leela entered fully, our relationship blooming organically. Picnics in the rain, art gallery hops, she was real, no hidden agendas. "I've been hurt too," she confessed one night, sharing her own past betrayal. Vulnerability bonded us, emotions raw and healing. Yet echoes persisted. A mutual friend revealed Elena's downfall. Living in a dingy apartment, scraping by as a freelance editor, her photography dreams dashed by scandal. Marcus faced lawsuits, custody battles. Schadenfreude flickered, but pity won, they reaped what they sowed. A new event enriched the narrative. I found an old journal of Elena's, hidden in storage. Pages detailed her internal conflict, loving two men, the thrill of secrecy. It humanized her but didn't excuse. I burned it, symbolic release. Therapy delved deep. Betrayal trauma is real, my counselor said. Sessions unpacked trust issues, rebuilding self-worth. I started journaling, pouring emotions onto pages, anger, sorrow, eventual gratitude for the lesson. Socially, I expanded. Joined a hiking group, made friends who knew nothing of my past. One trek to Mount Rainier was transformative. Standing atop, wind whipping, I felt reborn. "This is my life now," I shouted into the void. Leela and I grew closer, planning a trip to the coast, echoing my wedding but with honest love. Emotions swelled as we watched sunsets, her hand in mine feeling right. Closure arrived via a letter from Sarah. "We've moved on. Thank you for the truth." It mirrored my journey from shattered to whole. From the ashes of betrayal, I rose like a phoenix, wings singed but soaring. The emotional immersion deepened as I embraced change, each day a step toward reclamation. Seattle's fog lifted metaphorically, revealing paths I'd ignored. A new event. I launched a side hustle, betrayal recovery workshops, drawing from my story. Attendees shared tears, laughs, facilitating healed me too. "Your vulnerability inspires," one participant said, hugging me post-session. Leela became my partner in crime, literally, as we volunteered solving community puzzles, metaphor for piecing life back. Our first fight was raw, emotions high, but we communicated, strengthening bonds. Work thrived. A mural project went viral, earning accolades. "Betrayal fueled your art," a critic noted. Indeed, canvases burst with chaotic beauty mirroring my turmoil. Elena's shadow faded, but a surprise encounter added drama, bumping into her at a market. She looked worn, eyes avoiding mine. "Alex," she whispered. "I'm sorry." Emotions surged, pity, residual anger. "I forgive you for me, not you," I said, walking away, cathartic. Marcus's fate trickled in, bankrupt, alone. Sarah thrived, remarrying happily. Personally, I adopted a dog, Max, whose loyalty rebuilt trust. Walks with Leela and Max became rituals, filled with laughter and plans. Therapy evolved, focusing on future joys. Dreams of fatherhood resurfaced, but patiently. A pivotal moment, proposing to Leela on a cliffside, ring simple, words heartfelt. "You've shown me real love," I said, tears flowing. She said yes, emotions overwhelming. The wedding was intimate, vows honest. Life post-betrayal. Richer, more immersive. The horizon stretched endless, a canvas for fresh strokes. Emotional depths plumbed, I stood taller, betrayal a scar but not defining. Leela and I honeymooned in Hawaii, ironic, reclaiming what Elena stole. New events enriched. We started a family blog, sharing adventures. Adoption discussions began, hearts open. Professionally, I wrote a book on resilience, bestseller status affirming growth. Elena's final chapter. Rumors of her moving abroad, seeking redemption. I wished her well silently. With Leela, every moment immersive, cooking disasters turning to laughter, stargazing confessions. "You're my forever," she said. Reflecting, the journey from hook to healing was profound. Betrayal broke me, but rebuilding forged unbreakable strength. Life's twists, embrace them. The end, just a new beginning. Just a new beginning.